Be strong.
I did a recent Fishroom tour locally, which was quite fun, different than going through stores. I've only done one other Fishroom tour, which you can see in my past videos if you take a look. And this one was kind of fun. It was different. It wasn't in a basement, which was interesting. He's got them on the upper level of his home, which is cool because you get to see the fish all the time, as opposed to fish rooms, which are traditionally located in the basement. I like the fact that these were on his upper level, where he really gets to see the fish all the time. Now, I've already thought of a couple of different ways I could have approached this, so hopefully my fish room tours will get better. I got a couple of ideas of things I wish I would have done. So while this is new as far as doing the fish room tours, I hope you still enjoy it, and I hope you tune back in for some other ones. So take a look, take a listen. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.
So the thing with discus is a lot of people say, you can have like an Oscar or a Pleco and they'll live in toilet water. But a discus are allergic to tap water.
So it's ROI water.
Well, so what we got, I do have RO in the house, but we also have a whole house water softener.
Okay.
So it drops my GH to almost zero.
Okay.
So a lot of the tanks, like the guppies, the live bears and stuff that we have, we actually have to buffer and put in the salt for them to keep the GH up a little bit. You can also tell on a lot of the snails. We used to have a lot of snails in most tanks, like rabbit snails, mystery snails. Some of the tanks still have mysteries, but what will happen with the softer water is their shells will actually start to deteriorate, and you'll see them turn not as shiny as they should be, and just kind of awful. Like there's a big mystery snail in here, and you can see about 3/4 of the way down around his shell, it's like foggy and not real bright.
Oh wow.
That's because he was in softer water than he needed to be in. Like they need the calcium and the minerals in the water. So
you never see them that big either. Oh my gosh.
No, that's a big boy. So
I got a couple of black mystery snails.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're black or purple.
Purple, probably like a what are they called? The blueberry.
Mm-hmm.
Blueberry snail.
Got them from Aquatic Haven out in
Set up like towards Syracuse, that one.
Yeah, used to be owned by a different. I forgot the name of it before.
Oh yeah, that's like up in was it Fulton or whatever? Fulton. Yeah, it was Get Schooled Aquatics.
Get School.
Yep, and he
sold
the place, and he went to go be a comic book guy.
I know,
cool
it was
dude.
weird. He's a very cool dude.
Yeah.
I did a fish tour of the store when it was Get Schooled, and I went up there recently and did one.
Yeah, actually, in this tank there are Amano shrimp that I bought from him. There's an Amano shrimp right there, and I got that from Get Schooled Aquatics.
Wow.
It was probably a year and a half ago. So this is my 45 high female sorority beta tank. These are my ladies. Hello, ladies. They are so personable.
Do you get a lot of breeding in there?
No, these are all female. Only females.
I was gonna say they're small.
They get there's a couple of bigger ones. This koi's pretty big, but I got 10 of them from a local breeder, and every time we go to like PetSmart or Petco or whatever, they've got the little beta cups.
You buy them?
They have a lot of them that are like, they're broken and fins rotted, and they think they're gonna die, so they're like just giving them away. I've got 5 or 6 of them that.
So it's only the males that actually go after each other.
Yeah, these are a little nippy with each other. You'll see there's a little bit of fin damage on them, but for the most part, they're fine. As long as they have enough space to go together, they're good. There's also Synodontis catfish.
I was gonna say, I see a catfish down there.
There's a couple catfish hiding down under the log down there. But my Amano shrimp are going nuts right now up on the log. Love Amano. pounds. This tank is only 2 weeks old.
Really?
Yeah. So you can see all the mulmy nastiness on this wood, that white crap.
Oh, that'll come off eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll come off eventually. When I first put it in here, in fact, the snail's going to town on it right now. When I first put it in here, the thing was puffy. It was probably about this big.
And it
was hard slime. It was the weirdest thing, but I've never had it with. This is actually grape wood, grapevine wood. So it's not supposed to be underwater, but you know what? It's working. So.
And they said you can almost put anything, as long as you put it out for a long time and let it.
Yeah. For the most part, I mean, it's all natural stuff. You know, I'm not using any fake anything.
So is this all new growth here?
No. So this log actually was in another tank. This is Mopani wood. I had this in one of the 20s, and then it was in this 45 in another room. Then it was in another. It was in a 40-gallon tank, and it just keeps going back and forth. But I trimmed up all the. That's Java moss that has actually embedded itself into the wood.
Oh wow!
So this moss is probably about a year old growing. There's a couple anubias stuck to it.
Now my Java moss keeps. So your lighting is good enough for the Java moss?
Oh yeah.
Because it's not dying quickly, and I'll see
start
streamers.
To turn brown underneath.
Well, I'll see streamers, then all of a sudden I won't. I've been trying to leave the light on even more and more and more.
What kind of fish are in the tank, and what kind of other stuff?
In that tank, I've only got the snails and bristlenose plecos.
Okay. The snails will definitely eat it. If there's any type of death, that's for the most part, snails will only eat dead plant matter. They won't eat live leaves. And a lot of times with Java moss, you'll find that underneath it'll start to decay.
And that's when
and then it'll come off, and then they'll end up underneath trying to eat the bottom stuff, and the good stuff will come off and go everywhere. So we've gotten away almost entirely from having Java moss because of when you try to trim it, it just goes everywhere, clogs filters. It's awful. I hate it.
I've got sponge
it
filters
looks
on
awesome
that one,
when it's totally good to go, but yeah. So all the big tanks have real filters on them. Like this one's got a aqua top, and it goes good. There's actually I don't see them right now. The outlet of the filter in there.
This is making me want a beta tank.
I know, right? I love betas. They're so personable. They're so nice. They're just like absolutely crazy. You put your hand in, you can actually pick them right up. They'll come right up and say hi to you. They'll bite your fingers. They don't care that I'm here. Just the nicest thing. If you try to scrape the glass or anything, they'll be right in your way always. They always think they're getting fed. They're just the cutest little things.
When I first walked in, I thought this was, I hadn't looked, and I thought it was guppies.
No. No, so we went through, my wife went through a guppy phase where she wanted tons of different types of guppies, and then she started learning about the way that guppies don't really last all that long, and they real susceptible to like columnaris and other diseases.
Yeah, I've got 3 guppies in with those koi swords because all the stores only want to carry the males or all females. They don't get both in. And so when I do find that they've got pairs, I'll buy a pair. But they didn't last long. I've only got 2 left. I bought 4 and there's 2 left, and they seem to be doing okay in that tank. But
there's a catfish right there.
I see him.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, I think, in there. I've got 4 more that need to make their way into this tank. Actually, they're in one of the other tanks over there. They're a little bit smaller than these guys.
I'm seeing a big revival with planet tanks.
Yes.
People are getting more into the planet tanks.
So they are just so much better for water quality.
Yes.
Like some of the tanks in the other room, you'll see. I mean, you can open them and smell the tank. It's like it's got a little bit of earthy smell to it, but
it smells pretty good.
It doesn't smell bad.
No.
And especially with floating plants, a lot of things, especially with the betas, keeping floating plants, because the leaves are out of the water or at the surface of the water, they're actually exchanging CO2 and pulling nutrients out of the water. So they'll pull in, the nitrogen cycle, the nitrogen cycle, it's, your ammonia, stuff rots, turns to ammonia, then turns to nitrite, and then into nitrate, and the only thing to take nitrate out is the plants eat the nitrate
or water changes.
So the more plants you got, the less time you got to do a water
Which is
change.
why I kind of want to go to plants, because
Yes.
I'm water changing a little too much. I don't have as many tanks as you have. I have 9.
Yeah.
But Sundays are. I
Yeah,
try to do a little
it's,
bit through the week and a little bit on the weekend.
So our water changes, because we have so many big tanks. I mean, we've got the 2 125s plus a couple 75s, the 45, bunch of 20s. We'll do water changes usually on the weekends. But I mean, the discus tank, they get changed twice a week, but they also have a sump. So
I was gonna say, this what is this, a 55-gallon sump?
that is a 55-gallon sump. That actually, I bought this tank for $10 from Scott Dairy. Actually, have you ever?
Oh,
Scott
yes,
Dairy?
yes.
Okay, so I got this from Scott Dairy. Have you ever done a tour of his fish room?
I have not.
It is awesome. If you can get in there, it is really cool.
Maybe
He's
he'll
got
see
some
this video
really
and
cool
he'll
sequence
say,
that
you know what, let's do
absolutely
it.
love. So I
Got the pot scrubbers in there.
yeah, pot scrubbers and ceramic media, sponges, socks. Probably going to redo this sump. This chamber is actually for K2 media. So I got to get, I still am waiting on this. This setup has only been here for a month and a half, because the 150 that's in the garage is actually the one that...
It looks pretty established, though.
All the stuff is here. So all the plants, all the hardscape, all the rocks, most of the substrate came out of the 150 that's out there.
Okay.
So it all came out. These fish, I mean, the tank sprung a leak. My wife called me, your tank's leaking. I'm
my
working in
biggest fear.
Buffalo and had to drive back here. So I'm like,
Whoa.
I picked up this tank from Blue Lagoon in Buffalo on my way home. And
Wow.
drove all the way home. I'm like, oh my God. It's not the first time I've had it happen. We had a 55 die when we lived in our
But at least
apartment
she
way back
probably
when,
knew what
but-
to do.
But yeah, this setup has it's running CO2. It's got a UV filter that runs on one of the returns. You know, I've got the heaters right inside there, an Inkbird controlling temperature. These guys stay right about 83 degrees.
What do you change the sock? What, weekly or?
New every 3 days.
Okay.
So I got to rework that. Not quite exactly where I want it. It's kind of rigged right now with the returns. So the other one I had used a bean animal return. It was silent. So it had
An animal.
bean, BEAN.
Okay.
It had a weir box at the top and 3 outlet pipes, 2 of which were kind of on a hook, you know, with a dual siphon, and then a emergency overflow in the middle. And these are just single drain on each side that just mix into the 2 down there, and they're loud. I mean, this right here for me is loud.
Really?
So you know,
You can
you notice
barely
there's
hear
no
it.
air pump, right?
Yeah.
I have a central air pump in the basement,
Okay.
and
Okay.
every one of them comes up through the floor with a
Oh, you've done a
thing
lot of
like
work
that.
here.
So you know, there's a manifold behind each rack. So that's one of the things is can't be loud.
Now, I want a sump, but I'm intimidated by building one.
Don't be. They're super simple. I mean, you can go as far as all you need is a way to get the water out of the tank, a siphon to come out, drop it into one chamber. You can actually stand sponges up this way, and then just have your return pump at the other end, return back. to the
Now, do
tank.
you have to have a sock?
No. So I switched to a sock on this one. Before it had a 40-gallon breeder. Actually, the 40-gallon that's out there was a 40-gallon breeder, and it dumped directly onto I think that stuff. It's like the Aquamesh,
Gotcha.
you know, like the dual. And it worked just fine. I mean, it was probably a little better set up than what this one currently is. I need to change how big the sponges are on this one. So this is a triple sponge on this end. It goes coarse, medium, fine, and then the polishing. And the surface area isn't quite big enough on this.
Really?
I need to make it bigger. Yeah.
I mean, it's...
So the reason is that you'll see the difference in water level.
I
So
see it.
It's high here and low here. It's because it comes down under and then flows up. So these are clogging, allowing this to get higher than I want it to be.
Right. I see.
So, and
Interesting.
then it's just a zigzag that goes up and down through this one. In fact, the glass partitions in here that I had to buy from a glass shop cost more than everything else in the saw.
Really?
They're like $130 for those 4 pieces of stupid glass.
See, if the 150, you could have took the 150 and cut the glass and
Tried to.
too thick.
Yeah, way too thick to cut. So, but these guys, they're a little timid right now. So all my discus are named. We've got Bugs, which is the orange. She's a orange pigeon blood, and Petey. They are a mated pair. In fact, they just laid eggs 3 days ago, but then ended up eating them yesterday morning.
Now, what are they laying right in the tank?
Yep, they were laying on the sword leaf. It's on the back side of one of the sword leaves. And we've got Callisto. He is the white snowball. He's adorable. I actually got him at a Country Max. Was very surprised they had him at a Country Max.
They've got a lot of discus at Country Maxes.
Yeah. The blue diamond behind him, his name is Milton. Millie. He's adorable. I picked him up from a guy that only had 1 discus, and he lived not too far from where I worked in Buffalo. And I actually went on my lunch break, picked him up in a bucket, and had him sitting on my desk in a 5-gallon bucket for half a day.
Oh, wow.
He's a happy little guy. And we've got Chipper and Huey. They are the 2 red cobalt leopards. And behind the big blue one, that is Dewey. In the front here, Peaches is an albino red Marlboro. And Butters, which is a yellow Marlboro. And they are absolutely adorable. They're a little intimidated right now.
They're not even full size yet.
Not friend, yeah. Yeah, so the Bugs and Petey are about full size. That's about how big they're going to get in this tank. I've had a few fish that I lost with the when the tank broke. I ended up losing a couple that were about this big. They were gigantic. But unfortunately, lost them. The little ones were able to hang on.
Now, what's the most coveted type of discus? Is it the snake skins?
So snake skins are fairly common. A lot of the wild types, I've seen a trend going towards the wild types, but a lot of them look. It depends on their environment. So I intentionally went with a white background, white sand, to try to stop the peppering. So the darker the substrate, the darker the background,
you get,
the darker they'll get. So they'll actually, the blue ones here in the middle, when they were in the other tank with the black background, they actually would turn almost black.
Oh wow!
Trying to blend in. So
I just did a
come here, Peaches.
One on colors and how substrate.
Yes, it is absolutely a thing.
I just changed out to sunset gold in one of my tanks, and I had black substrate, and I have the same type of fish in 2 different tanks, and the fish with the lighter substrate are looking better than the black substrate.
So we've also got Harlequin Rasboras, Angeli Rasboras, the rummy nose tetras. These are probably the fish I've had the longest. These rummy nose tetras have been in about 4 or 5 different tanks now.
Hardy.
Yes, they are, and they really are the canary of the fish tank, where their nose will start to dull down if there's any problem.
They let you know that there's a problem.
They will absolutely let you know. There's a few autos in here.
Some corridoras.
Yep, the Corys are actually, I have babies from these guys. Those are bronze green Aeneas, and I actually got those from Corridors.
Ah, okay.
So
I did a tour of his old place.
Yep, I was just at his new place. I've been to both, but I was just at his new place and got some rainbows from him. In fact, I got more Harlequins over here that I just got from him too. These are still in quarantine. Those came from Corey. There's another mystery snail. There's a. This was the quarantine for the female betas when I first got them, and I had, I think, 5 or 6 in here.
Now, is this set up as a black tank, or you just...
So it's because of the wood.
Okay.
The wood, and this is the only tank in the house that has a matin filter.
Okay.
And it was kind of more of a trial, I guess, to see how I liked it. Not a huge fan. I mean,
Some people love that look.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the black water tank look. It doesn't bother me at all. I think because it's a 10-gallon and it's situated in the front to back, the long ways, it makes it more difficult. As it gets darker and darker, it's hard to see. The depth of it, exactly. It's very hard to see. There's a Starlight Pleco hiding in there that I got from Che Peng.
I was just at his restaurant last weekend.
Yes. Not a huge fan of the food, but awesome restaurant.
It was my first time trying it. I figured I'd go in and try it. And
oh, yeah, definitely support Che. Che's an awesome dude. He's got a lot of cool stuff. I've been in his fish room a few times, saw his discus when he had them.
Oh, he had a ton of discus, and he's gotten rid of a lot, though.
Yes. So these are my wife's guppies. There's a couple super old ones in here. You can see this girl. She is ready to kick it.
She's been
definitely old. She's probably about 2 years old. So there's a bunch of delta tails and Endler types and some purple mosaics.
Be strong.